Hello everyone, welcome to another video from Fantasy Football Scout. Today, Josh and I turn our attention to FanTeam. Hopefully you've all got your FanTeam teams in and they're all doing admirably well. Mine is doing admirably average as usual. How are you getting on, Josh?
Yeah, all good, mate, actually. So my dodgy little strategy of tripling all the defenses, I hit 2 out of my 6 dodgy defenses, so they got triple clean sheets. So that's like a good base to build some points from.
Not Iran,
So,
though. Not Iran.
no, not Iran, mate. I know I sounded like an absolute muppet, but yeah, the 2 of the others hit. I had Poland and Ecuador, so they were
nice.
very cheap and they both hit. So
yeah,
hopefully they are the ones that sort of keep the 2 out of 3 cleans in the group stage, and I'll be laughing hopefully. So yeah,
nice. We aren't going to be talking too much about FanTeam stuff. There's plenty of other content on the kind of the more traditional game. What we are going to be talking about today is the FanTeam Monster games. Now, if you aren't familiar with the FanTeam Monster games, they can be daily kind of tournaments, but in this case, they are run over a couple of days. So the Monster tournament today runs over today and tomorrow. And essentially what you do is you build a team based on just one fixture for those teams, and they all have their prices sort of based accordingly on how good the team is and how good the fixture is and that kind of stuff. So we see it in the Premier League. Sometimes you might see a team like Burnley playing Norwich, and all the Burnley players are like massively sky high price. So some of the weaker teams might be kind of priced, but that means you can kind of have to be careful about the players that you select. Josh and I have done videos on this before. It's a really, really cool thing to do. Maybe you've missed the cut-off for the main game. Whatever. This is a really nice way of playing. You can play for as little as £2 as well, and it starts today at 1 o'clock. So you haven't got too much time to get your teams in and registered into this. There's also the star pick, which is your favourite thing at the moment, Josh.
Yeah, I love it. So basically, you just log in, pick one player who you think is going to be the highest fantasy scorer, usually of the day, but sometimes over like a week period or a whole game week or something. And you just click his name, put him in a team, and press enter, and that's all you work for the tournament. So yeah, minimal effort, and if you pick someone who's quite like unique, so like no one else has picked them, you get quite a big reward. So it says 1,000 guaranteed. So if you're the only person to pick a player, you win 1,000 if they're the top scorer on the slate, basically. So yeah, definitely recommend it. £1, $1, whatever it is the perfect little flutter, I think, isn't it? So yeah.
Yep. And what I like about FanTeam is, there's other fantasy games, not mentioning any names, but there's other fantasy games that are maybe a little bit complicated. Maybe people are getting a little bit frustrated with, a little bit annoyed with. This FanTeam stuff just keeps it super simple. The main game is simple. Put your team in, lock it in, one captain, done. You've got the monster games where you pick players based on 2 fixtures, and then that on one fixture over 2 days, and that runs out, and then you go on to the next one. And then you've got the star pick, like you say, which is the easiest one of them all. So if you're looking for simplicity, FanTeam is by far the most simple fantasy game. So what we're going to do in this video, we are going to pick a team. We're going to take a look at the fixtures over today and tomorrow. We're going to look at the prices. We're going to try and find some bargains. And Josh and I did this all of last season and failed to win any money. So you're in good hands with us.
Absolutely, yeah. But I'm sure this will be the turning point, mate. So yeah, we're all good.
We say that every week. Right, let's jump straight into it then. So this is how it'll look when you go to set up your monster team for the next 2 days. You can see the Spaniards are right at the top of the list. Alvaro Morata, look at that. Most expensive player in FanTeam, 14.5. Hasn't even played yet. He's playing today. Ferran Torres, 14.3. And then you've got a list of other Spanish players. I mean, how are you feeling about this Spanish game? We haven't seen them play yet. They're coming into the tournament sort of back to do quite well, but how far do you reckon they can get?
Yeah, they're being priced here based on the opponent, as you alluded to earlier. I think people think Costa Rica are very weak. Spain will obviously. Oh well, you can never say never in these tournaments after what we saw yesterday, especially with Argentina, but Spain are very likely to get through their group, I would say. And then after that, I struggle to see them being as good as a few of the other countries. So it sort of depends where their route lies. But my guess would be quarterfinals if I had to guess for Spain. But wouldn't be surprised at all if they got to the semis.
It's up top, isn't it? Where the gone are the days of Villa and Torres and those guys. Morata still hanging about. I mean, I don't know, where is he playing now? Obviously he's in Spain somewhere, but
Atletico, I think.
Does he play for Atletico?
I think I think he does, yeah. But
Fair enough.
they rotate. They've got about 4 or 5 names, I think. But yeah, I don't think he'd be starting for Spain if he wasn't starting for Atletico. But yeah, like I saw a rumored team for Spain that they're starting 7 of the Barcelona's players
Wow.
into tomorrow's game or today's game. That is crazy to me. Like they're not the team in form. They've got a lot of other players in the squad who are very good. Like for example, I saw Morata wasn't even going to start this first game, which is just like with no safety net. It means you can't even pick him on this game basically. So it's like, yeah, very frustrating. Yeah, they were playing some sort of false 9. I think it was Asensio in the 9 or something. So yeah, very very strange lineup, but. Yeah.
It's interesting. You look at England, for example. Liverpool and City are our 2 best teams, kind of over the last few years. We've got John Stones. I think he was the only one starting from those 2 sides. Was there anyone else? Trent Foden on the bench.
Just him, yeah.
Just
Foden on the bench.
Yeah, just
Endo
Stones
on the bench.
I know, and then Grealish as well. And then you look at Spain, and when they won it years ago, they had a whole team filled with Real Madrid and Barcelona players, and. Again, Spain are attempting to do that again. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they get. So what do you reckon about Spain? Do you reckon they're too overpriced for this monster then? Costa Rica are decent defensively.
So that's my opinion. I think you might see in a bit with some of my drafts I put together or whatever, but I'm leaning more towards the Spanish defensive assets rather than their attacking ones.
Yep.
I think this could be a 1-0 or something like that. So yeah.
Who'd you like from the defence?
Well, as I said, I think I just tried to get a bit of a discount. So I think I went for Laporte and Garcia, who I think are going to be the starting centre-backs. The full-backs have obviously got some upside, but I just, like, they're so expensive. I was just trying to save a bit of money, basically. So in this instance, I went for some of the centre-backs, but you can't go wrong with any of the highest 4-priced ones, I don't think. So, yeah. Laporte and Garcia were the 2 I went for, though.
I'll still go Alba in for now just because it's at the top. But if we need some money later on down the line, then we'll come back to it. Let's take a look at some of the other teams then. I mean, there's plenty of teams. You've got Belgium. Let's have a look at the fixtures before we do any more. So Germany, Japan. That looks a good fixture for Germany. Spain, Costa Rica, we mentioned. Belgium v Canada. I mean, that looks a very good fixture for Belgium. But I've just got a funny feeling about Canada. You know, they're kind of like the wild card team in this tournament. No one really knows what we're going to get from them. But Alphonso Davies is fit. So that's a big boost for them. And then tomorrow it's Switzerland, Cameroon. Uruguay, South Korea, Portugal, Ghana, and Brazil, Serbia. What are those fixtures are kind of screaming to you that we need to invest in?
I think there's a lot of, as in international tournaments, there's a lot of lopsided games here, aren't there? Like you like the Belgium assets, you probably like the Germany assets still, although they're a little bit pricey. The Spain we've talked about, not really keen on paying that much for the attack, but definitely the defence. And then the other one I kind of like Switzerland defensively, but yeah, I don't know. They were a little bit cheaper. They came in
Choupo-Moting though, Josh.
I know. I did include him in one draft as well. So yeah, I think he's a very fun pick. Like if a goal's going to come from that team, it's going to be to do with him. I think so. Yeah, the guy with the best agent in the world, as we always say. But yeah, I don't mind the Switzerland defense for if you don't pick a Cameroon attacker, for a cheap defensive stack, I think is nice. And then Portugal technically against Ghana, who are technically the worst ranked team in the tournament. So could it be the return of a man who doesn't have a club? Could he have a big game? Do you think he could have a big game?
Oh, I mean, what a mess! What a mess! I don't know if anyone listening plays Goal Scorer Challenge, where you pick a player, but the idea of that is you pick a Premier League player each week, and in an unprecedented turn of event, people have picked Ronaldo, but now he hasn't got a club, so technically he's not a Premier League player. So no one had to make a decision whether or not that pick still counts. So it's even affecting obscure fantasy games. His kind of interview and things. I mean, it's the kind of situation in which he's probably going to thrive in, right? Like the more the chips are down, the better he plays. We saw it for him against Juventus for Real Madrid when he was they were laughing at him and booing at him after the first leg, and then the second leg he comes, he got a hat trick, didn't he? And was applauded off the pitch by them. So he revels in criticism. He revels in the limelight. It's all about the spotlight for him. So, mentality-wise, I think he's fine. It's just his body. He's just not the same player that he was, and I struggle to think how he's going to really make a huge impact on this tournament. But Ghana are the weakest side, in theory, in the tournament. And he's on pens, presumably.
Yeah. I wish I'd capped him in one of my season-long teams. I think he might run riot, literally. I think I don't think anyone would be surprised if he got a hat-trick. Like, absolutely no way. It's just like, not in this specific fixture.
It's scripted, isn't it? It's literally just in the script for him. 12.7 million. He is pricey. How much is Fernandez? 12.6. Yeah, there's not much in it between them.
Yeah, I'd take Ronaldo all day.
Yeah, you got to have one
because of what's happened.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
just because of what's happened.
Yeah, Ronaldo's in then. Leao as well. He's obviously highly tipped to have a big tournament, but 12.2. Not a huge amount of difference between him and Fernandez and Ronaldo. And there's some question marks around his minutes, for example. They need to kind of switch things around.
Let me tell you, you're not going to enjoy building this team because we need some budget guys for sure. Because all the good players are just like over 10 million, over 12 million, as you've alluded to.
I really like the Swiss shout because Switzerland, Akanji at 8.6, for example, and then another defender probably, maybe the goalkeeper.
The keeper for sure.
Sommer,
I'd just put him in
9.2. So at least that's two players under 10, which is good. So Belgium, Canada. I mean, they're going to be pricey, aren't they? Mounier 10.3. That's the most attacking defender. De Bruyne 13.2. Wow, that is high. Trossard 12.4. Lukaku 13.1. Batshuayi 12.6. They're high, but again, this is a game where I wouldn't be too surprised if there was an upset.
I'd love that. I've got Canada in one of my sweepstakes.
Have you?
But they only need to finish as the best of the bottom 16 teams to win. So they need to get the furthest. So I'm just hoping they get a miracle upset today.
Alphonso Davies, 6.3, playing at number 10.
Yeah, I think that's okay as like a fourth sort of defender. I think that's okay, like a fourth defensive asset, and then we can just pick some attackers. I think.
Do you think we need any Belgian attackers?
I think you can have one for sure. I kind of like Batshuayi at a bit of a discount, but because he's going to start this one. So
I'm putting Davies in just because I'm a romantic at heart.
I think that's nice with the penalties, to be honest. Like 6 million, if he just needs one attack in return, and he's paid off that price easily. So can I tempt you with any Japan assets? They're quite exciting, aren't they? I think
they can. Is Matoma on the radar?
Yeah, I think he's 7-1. I think.
No, he's 6-3. Matoma.
Wow. Oh, I was on about Minamino.
Minamino. Yeah, he's 7-1.
Sorry. yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so Matoma's
just my Brighton bias coming in.
Do you think he'll start?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm not 100%. Like, he's one I'd be worried about with no safety net, or like maybe a defensive midfielder as a safety net. But I went for more the guy above Kamada, the one who plays for Celtic, Maeda, I think he's called, or something.
Yep.
And then if he doesn't start, you get Kamada. So like you get one of the ones who play in the cam, basically. So
I
thought that was an astute pick. Yeah, but
you think against Germany they've got any hope? I'd be more willing to take a punt on Canada against Belgium, for example, than Japan against Germany. I think Germany just gonna do a bit of a job on them.
Yeah, I think that's more than fair. I think I'd just be conscious if we're like not playing any Germany defenders that like we don't really want the clean sheet to come in.
That's
you know
true.
What I mean? So you sort of want one goal, and you just got to try and find the goal. The other one that's not so bad, I don't think, because I don't think Portugal are particularly good defensively, is maybe one of the Ghana boys, so like one of the RUs, or like Kudus from Ajax. He plays for. He's really good. Like you just got to find some value. I think.
I'm happy to go for a Ghana mid.
Yeah, Andre Ayew's on penalties. He might not start, but if he does,
let's take Andre Ayew. There you go. We're filling up some of the more budget slots.
This is the thing about the safety net on this game. It's so good to just be assured that you're going to get a starter. Even if you pick someone, you'll just get someone below it who starts. You know what I mean? So, yeah, and you can take a bit more of a risk on some punty guys who, if they do start, are amazing. You know what I mean? It's like a really nice way to play.
Yep. Let's take a look at Germany then, if we're going to go for them. I mean, they are obviously very, very expensive. Havertz 13.6, Sane 13.5, Gnabry 13.3. Sane's out, isn't he? I think he's going to miss this one. So yeah, don't pick him. Up front you've got Müller, ever-present Müller, 13 million, and then the defenders are under 10 million. Actually, to be fair, which is I'm surprised by that. So maybe we go for a mid, we go for a Gnabry or a Musiala. and grab a defender?
Musiala. I think he's
Musiala.
cheap. I think he's very, very cheap here. And you'll get Gundogan or Kimmich underneath if he doesn't play, which is still fine because Gundogan might have pens. Kimmich takes a lot of set pieces and gets a lot of assists. So, yeah, I'd go Musiala, and I'm pretty sure he's going to start this one now.
Yep. And then know much about the Germany defence?
No, not really, but I do like the price of it. I like that. I like that price at 9 million. I think that's a really nice discount on some of the other expensive countries. So, let me just take a look at the board, see who they've got.
Rudiger at 9.6. He's likely to smash one in. He loves.
That's a nice one for a header, yeah. Because he sort of pulls a lot of ownership, but I think that's okay. Like I think just having the one and going for the upside of the goal is a really nice idea. Sewell will start. I think he's plays for Bayern. I think, right?
He's a big lad.
Yeah, he'll start for sure. So I'd just go for one. I think in this line, maybe double up though and play 5 at the back. But it seems a bit boring though.
It does, doesn't it? It's an option though. If we need some money, sort of coming back, we're doing all right. We've got 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got 3 more spots to fill. Uruguay, South Korea. I like that. I like Nunes a lot. He's in pretty much all of my fantasy teams across the board.
Yep, put him in. I think he's a great pick.
Yeah,
he's a great pick. Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to get him into one of my others, but he was a bit too expensive for the last but one slot or whatever, so I had to adjust it. But he's definitely been in my thoughts. Yeah,
24.3 million for 2 slots, Josh. We've got.
Yeah, lovely. We can have 2 premiums again.
Yeah, well, we could grab a Neymar. Or
yeah, I'd definitely go for a Brazil asset. Yeah, that was my immediate thought. Yeah.
Who do you like here? I mean, Richarlison's got Gabriel Jesus, but we've talked about Richarlison quite a lot in this. Neymar's a mid, which is surely incredibly attractive.
Yeah, I like one of Neymar or Vinicius or Rafinha, and I think Neymar's worth the extra in this case.
Yeah, let's go for Neymar.
That gives us someone about 11. Yeah.
Yeah, 10.9 for our final slot.
I don't want Sergio Busquets, that's for sure.
Is there any teams we haven't mentioned? I think we've covered. Yeah, we've covered all the teams. We haven't really talked about Belgium too much. I think Belgium, if they don't score against Canada, that would be a major shock. But we have got Davies, so I guess it's whether we kind of just we've got Davies because he's not really a defender, right? He's playing in the 10 role. So maybe we do get a Belgian player if we can afford one.
Yeah, I don't think we can for this. We'd have to move a few bits around, I think, but that's perfectly okay.
Yeah.
There's a few I think are quite cheap. So if we're not playing Brazil defense, I think this Mitrovic is very attractive at 7. I think he is if they're going to score. So like maybe we could move Rudiger to him and then have the upside of one of the really good attackers in midfield as like the last slot, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I'm up for that. Let's do that.
Yeah, because I just love his price. Like 7, I think he is, or something like that. It's just like really cheap.
And then we can grab anyone we want.
Yeah, which is perfect. So I'd take either one. Like still one of the Spain players is fine. Or double up the Germany attack with Sane. Not Sane. Sorry, Havertz or Gnabry.
Yeah, should we grab Gnabry as well?
Or De Bruyne is the other one. I mean, there's so many. It's such a fun. I don't think I've ever seen a game like this where there's so many fun players to pick. Like it's like you could have 2 full teams of completely different players.
Absolutely,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Who'd you like then, Gnabry or De Bruyne? I'll let you pick.
I like De Bruyne in this one. I think.
I thought you were going to lean for him.
I'm not convinced on Germany scoring a lot of goals. I have to say they're very expensive. But
there's 2 Mitrovic's who play for Serbia, so be careful which one you select. That's it. That gives us 300k left in the bank. So that's pretty much perfect. Sommer in goal and Akanji, so double Swiss defence. Alba and Davies, Ayew, Musiala, Neymar, De Bruyne, Ronaldo, Nunes, and Mitrovic. That seems pretty good.
Got a lot of our favourites in there as well. I'm happy with that. Yeah, the Ronaldo. I'm not going to call it a dream because I don't particularly like him, but I do think he might have his fairy tale game for himself today. I really do. I'm getting confused when all these games are, to be honest, as they come so thick and fast.
They do. Is it today? It's the fact
tomorrow?
They do different groups as well. Like one comes in and another one drops out, and then another one comes in. It's hard to keep track of. But yeah, how are you finding the tournament so far? Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, I absolutely love it. So if I wasn't doing this stream right now, I'd have the Morocco-Croatia game on in the background. You know what I mean? It's just like you could just watch football all day. I can't see how we wouldn't like that. It's just like fits us perfectly.
This is where remote working as well really comes into its own. Final decision is captain then. I will make a case for Nunes. I've just got a feeling about him, which normally doesn't lead to points, but I just think Uruguay versus Korea, that could be a chaotic game with Nunes up top. But I also don't mind the Ronaldo shout as well, if you think that's the Hollywood script. So one of those two.
Yeah, I've never seen it where we got like 5 assets. We're not even considering Neymar. He's like absolutely amazing. It's just like we've got Neymar, De Bruyne, Musiala, Ronaldo, and Nunes. I think they're all very reasonable. Let's go Nunes. I think that's the gut feeling. I think a lot will take the Ronaldo line. So maybe we want something a bit more different than that, because I think a lot of people think Ronaldo's going to have his bounce back game. You know what I mean, or whatever.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Cool. That is the team then. Let's take a look at the team you sent me earlier, which is one that you put together. So it's always interesting doing these, because obviously I don't really look at this too much, and then we just kind of build it from scratch, whereas you obviously put the work in before. So this is the team that you put together. So it's double Swiss defence, Sommer and Rodriguez. Double Portugal defence, I like that, Cancelo and Mendes. And then Musiala, Vinicius, Heung-min Son. Didn't even talk about him. Yeah, it's good, very good shout. If anyone's going to score against Uruguay, it's going to be him. I hope not. I've got double Uruguay defence in everything. So, yeah, hoping for a clean sheet there. Tadic, Dusan Tadic. I like that. We haven't talked about him either. Kind of monopolises a lot of stuff and has an amazing player to aim for in Mitrovic up top. Minamino, and then Ronaldo and Batshuayi up top. Yeah, I mean, it's completely different, isn't it, to the team that we put together? I mean, apart from the double Swiss defence, and Musiala and Ronaldo, but I mean, the majority of players are very different to ours.
Yeah, Minamino I really didn't want to pick, but I had Andre Ayew in there, but then I realised I was playing him against the double Portugal defence, so I had to take him out. So I just sort of pivoted to Minamino at the last minute, but I think I can do better than that slot. I'm going to try and have a look at that one. The other thing I had was the double Serbia attack, so I had Minamino to Mitrovic, but then I wasn't happy with that either against Brazil. So yeah, something to work on in that last slot, I think, but I'm really happy with the other 10. My gut feeling is I might end up downgrading Vinicius in this, I think. And like just to get someone a bit better than Minamino, but yeah, work in progress, but I think it's got a nice little spine. I think I'd obviously captain Ronaldo in this team. I don't really like any of the others for captaincy, I don't think so. Yeah, I'd default to Ronaldo, I think.
Yep. And then he sent me an alternative team as well, which is, again, very different. Double Belgium defence in this one. Again, I know we talk about the romanticism of Canada, but Belgium should really be winning this game. You know, Canada are coming in, I think they're the youngest or one of the youngest teams in the tournament, and there's a lot of excitement about them, but Belgium are the complete opposite. They've got loads of experience, loads of proper proven Champions League players. If they get turned over by Canada, that would be a hell of a result. But anyway, double Belgian defence for you, Courtois, Mounier. Double Spanish defence, Laporte and Garcia. A lot of money in defence there. De Bruyne, Musiala, Neymar, Son, Maeda, our best mate Choupo-Moting, and Mitrovic. Again, though, you've got a really expensive defence. You've got Neymar, De Bruyne, and Musiala.
Then look at the strikers.
Yeah, I mean Mitrovic though. Like, if anyone's going to score for Serbia, it's going to be him. He's, you're still getting the key man for them. Same with Son as well. So it's only really Choupo-Moting and Maeda who are the big punts here. But look at the rest of the squad. There's loads of different ways you can go with this.
Yeah, I do like your shout of Alphonso Davies, actually. I think that's a really nice price if you're not playing any Belgium attack. I think that fits really nicely just for the miracle upside of like some sort of goal or whatever. Just like, yeah, I really like that. But yeah, when I put this together, this one, it just doesn't feel right to have no money up front in a game where there's a lot of really good strikers. But Mitrovic, I can't ignore that price. He's still going to be somewhat of a talisman for Serbia, even though they've got quite a few good players. And he's 7 million. And Brazil aren't great defensively, so I just hope he nicks a goal basically. So yeah. And the rest, yeah, it's like De Bruyne, Musiala, Neymar, and Son. Like, that's like a dream midfield, isn't it? So,
it is. I know.
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't really find any cheap clean sheets. So if someone can find a cheap clean sheet this week, I think that's a really good way to win. Yeah. Because you'll just save 4 million on average over the two positions across the back, and then you can just spend that on your premium attackers. So I wasn't convinced on any of the cheap teams keeping it clean, but if you find one, like I say, that's going to be one of the keys to winning, I think.
Yep. Star pick?
That's a fun one. You put me on the
I
spot, but
have. I haven't even talked about
really
that.
fun.
I haven't even talked about that.
I am gonna go for. I was gonna say like no, I need to find someone who's unique. I was gonna say Alba, but I think a lot of people will go for that. I think that's way
That's
too
the
boring.
tricky thing, isn't it? You can just go for the one that you think is going to score the most points, which like your brain tells you is the most sensible thing. But like my brain's saying Nunes, for example, but you just know so many people are going to go for that you're actually not going to win a lot of money in doing it. But if you go for someone mad like a Swiss defender, like centre back, I might go for the German centre back, Sula.
Yeah, I like that. I love picking a centre back on these games. Yeah, you've got Sula and you got Rudiger, but Rudiger will be quite popular.
Exactly.
Like everyone loves Rudiger. Like it's always a thing. How about okay? I'm gonna go for something. I'm gonna go for a midfielder. I never normally go for a midfielder, but I'm gonna say Bernardo Silva. He just has the odd wild game, and I think he might have a wild game. I don't know.
I don't think anyone's going to be picking Bernardo Silva. So.
I know that's why. Yeah, I think Ghana are like I say, are supposed to be the whipping boys of this tournament. It's not what we're used to historically with them because they've obviously got to the semi-final like 8 years ago or something. But if they're as bad as advertised, this could be like a 5-6 goal game, couldn't it? So yeah. Maybe Bernardo Silva assists Ronaldo 6 times or something, and then Ronaldo gets sent off so he doesn't quite win or something like that. Yeah.
So if Ronaldo got 6 goals, he'd then win star player.
That's what I mean. Yeah, maybe I need him to get 4 goals and Bernardo Silva gets 6 assists or something like that. Yeah, there we go.
Could happen. You never know. Nice. I think that's it. Short and sweet from us today. Do subscribe to the channel if you're interested in more fan team content. Do get your star picks and your monster teams in ahead of the deadline in a couple of hours. Josh, we'll be back again next week to discuss another monster tournament and hopefully some more great games. Enjoy the World Cup.
Thank you, mate. You too. All right. Take care, everyone.
See ya.
Bye.